Imagine returning home after a sleepover, opening the door, and finding your entire family brutally murdered inside. But what shocked investigators even more was that 3 children sleeping just a few feet away survived the entire massacre, and 1 young girl had vanished without a trace. This is the horrifying true story of the Cabin 28 murders, one of America's most disturbing unsolved mysteries. In April of 1981, the quiet mountain town of Keddie, California was known as a peaceful vacation destination. Families came here to escape city life. Small wooden cabins sat among the trees. Everyone knew everyone. Nothing ever seemed to happen here. But on the night of April 11th, 1981, that peace would be shattered forever. And what happened inside Cabin 28 would become one of the most infamous unsolved murder cases in American history. Living inside Cabin 28 was 36-year-old Sue Sharp. She had recently moved to Keddie with her 5 children after separating from her husband. The family wasn't wealthy, but they were trying to start a new life. Living with Sue were her children, John, age 15, Sheila, age 14, Tina, age 12, Rick, age 10, and Greg, age 5. The family had only been in Keddie for a few months, but they were slowly adjusting to their new home. On April 11th, 1981, the evening seemed completely normal. Sheila was spending the night at a friend's cabin nearby. John and his friend Dana Wingate had gone into town earlier that day. Meanwhile, Sue stayed home with Tina, Rick, Greg, and a family friend named Justin. As darkness covered the small resort town, nobody knew they were only hours away from unimaginable horror. Around 10 p.m., Tina returned home after visiting neighbors. John and Dana later came back to the cabin. Everything appeared normal. But sometime during the late-night hours, someone entered Cabin 28. The next morning, 14-year-old Sheila returned home. As she approached Cabin 28, nothing seemed unusual. But the moment she stepped inside, she was confronted with a scene straight out of a nightmare. Bodies were lying in the living room. Blood covered the floor. Furniture had been overturned. The room looked like a violent struggle had taken place. Terrified, Sheila ran screaming to a neighboring cabin for help. When authorities arrived, they discovered the bodies of Sue Sharp, her son John, and John's friend Dana Wingate. All 3 had been brutally murdered. The attack had been savage. Investigators found evidence of stabbing, blunt force trauma, and strangulation. But that wasn't the most shocking part. 12-year-old Tina Sharp was missing. She was nowhere inside the cabin. As investigators searched the crime scene, they made an unbelievable discovery. Inside a nearby bedroom, Rick, Greg, and their friend Justin were still alive, completely unharmed. According to reports, the children had slept through the entire attack, despite the violence happening only feet away. They claimed they heard nothing, no screams, no struggle, nothing. To this day, many people find that detail difficult to understand. While investigators processed the crime scene, a massive search began for Tina Sharp. At first, authorities hoped she had escaped. Maybe she had run into the woods. Maybe she had been hiding somewhere nearby. But as days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, there was still no sign of her. Tina had simply vanished. The mystery only grew darker. Investigators quickly focused on several people connected to the family. 2 names repeatedly surfaced: Martin Marty Smart and his friend John Bo Bobaday. The pair lived close to Cabin 28. Both men reportedly attracted suspicion early in the investigation. Witness statements, conflicting stories, and other circumstances caused detectives to look closely at them. Yet, despite being questioned, neither man was ever charged. Over the years, rumors spread throughout Keddie. Some people believed investigators knew exactly who was responsible. Others believed the case had been mishandled from the very beginning, and many suspected a cover-up. One reason the case remains so controversial is because of mistakes made during the investigation. The crime scene was reportedly contaminated. Evidence wasn't properly preserved. Important leads were allegedly overlooked, and several potential clues disappeared over time. As years passed, many true crime researchers began arguing that the murders might have been solved if the original investigation had been handled differently. Then, 3 years later, the case took an even darker turn. In 1984, human remains were discovered roughly 30 miles away from Keddie. The remains belonged to Tina Sharp, the missing 12-year-old girl. Investigators had finally found her, but they still had no answers. Who took her? Why was she removed from the cabin? And what happened after she disappeared that night? Those questions remain unanswered. Decades later, the case was reopened. Investigators re-examined old evidence using modern forensic techniques. New discoveries reignited public interest. A previously overlooked recording, old reports, and physical evidence that had been forgotten for years. Many believed the truth was finally getting closer. But despite renewed efforts, no arrests were ever made. Over the years, countless theories have emerged. Some believe the murders were personal. Others think Tina may have been the intended target. Some suspect multiple killers were involved. And many continue to focus on the primary suspects questioned in 1981. But without enough evidence, no theory has ever been proven. More than 4 decades have passed since the horrors of Cabin 28. The cabin itself no longer exists. It was eventually demolished. But the mystery remains. A mother, 3 children, a family destroyed, a missing girl found years later, and a case that still has no official solution. Some believe investigators already know who did it. Others think the truth was buried long ago. But until someone finally comes forward, the terrifying events inside Cabin 28 will remain one of the most chilling, unsolved mysteries in true crime history. What do you think really happened inside Cabin 28? And after all these years, could the killer still be hiding in plain sight?